All right, in today's episode, I want to lay out for you a very simple 3-step process for getting anything that you want out of life. This is the secret that successful people use to manifest their dreams, to make it a reality. I'm going to share it with you. It's very simple. That doesn't mean it's easy. All right, so let's dive in. Number one, step one of getting whatever it is that you want out of life, and this is going to seem really stupidly obvious, but I promise it's not. You have to know what it is that you actually want, right? Like, to get your dreams, you have to be able to see your dreams. You have to be able to envision it in your mind's eye. You need to be able to articulate it to somebody else. You need to be able to articulate it to yourself and write it down on a piece of paper. You have to be able to imagine this thing, because you cannot hit the target that you cannot see. So the more clearly that you can see, what is it that I actually want for my life? What is my goal here? The more likely you are to realize that. Now, even after you know what you want, even if you have that vision, the next thing that you need to do is you need to build a process for every day reviewing that dream, reviewing that vision. And this is why I recommend to my students that they review their goals 3 times every single day. But the thing that's really important here isn't just that you're looking at the goals, right? I have my goals on the back of my phone's wallpaper. I have it in various strategic places in my office so that I'm always seeing them. But the most impactful thing that you can do is to actually write them down by hand every single day. And this is something I don't think I've really talked about a lot on this podcast, actually. I keep a separate goals journal where I have 5 goals, and every day I sit down and I write them down. From memory, I write down my goals. And that way, there's something about the hand-brain connection and the seeing it and writing it that pulls it forward. It's like your reticulating activating system, or reticular activating system. Whereas, once you're looking for a thing, once you're primed to be aware of it, you start to see it everywhere, right? And so if one of your goals is I want to make more money in the next year, right? Like, you want to get smart and specific about that and say, maybe I want to make $10,000 a month over the next 6 months, right? Well, now as you're going through your day, if you wrote that goal down every single morning and then every single night before you go to bed, do you think you would be more likely to notice opportunities throughout the course of your day that might help you move towards that goal? Is it any wonder then that the person who does that, who reviews their goals, who writes them down every single day, who carries them around in their pocket, who has them on their phone and constantly looking at it, is it any wonder that they are more likely to capitalize on those opportunities that are before them, rather than the person who just, they set their New Year's resolutions once and they think about it every now and then when they're daydreaming in their bed, staring up at the ceiling before they fall asleep? They have so many opportunities to move towards their dreams. They just aren't seeing it because they're not looking for it. You see and you hear that which you look and listen for, nothing more. If you aren't looking for it, you aren't going to see it. It's that simple. So that's step 1, is to know what you want. Step 2 is you got to have a plan to get there, right? Like, everybody at the Olympics has the same goal: win the Olympics. What's the difference between the gold medalist and the guy who gets last place? It's their systems. It's the processes that they executed on a daily basis to get to that place. Because we don't rise to the level of our ambition, we fall to the level of our systems, right? And so we have to have a plan, a process for going from where we are to where it is that we want to be. So it's not enough just to try and manifest your reality with some kind of the secret. I'm not saying like you write down your goals and it's just going to appear for you. That's where most people get stuck, right? You can't just scream affirmations into the mirror and hope that the universe gives you what you want. You have to scream it into the mirror, and then you have to go and take violent action every single day towards realizing that goal. And that is where the plan comes into place. You have to have a process. What am I going to do first? What's going to come next? What's the system I'm going to execute? And then the third step, and this is the most important step, and this is, I think, probably why the majority of people will live a life of quiet mediocrity. Step 3 is you actually have to go do the work. You have to know what you want. You have to have a plan to get there. But at the end of the day, the universe doesn't care what you want. It doesn't care what you intend to do. It doesn't care what you plan to do. The universe only cares what you do. If you do nothing, you will get nothing. Your plans will not work. Your dreams will not manifest if you do not execute. And so, once you have your vision, once you have your plan, all that remains is to show up every single day with a system and a process for doing the work. Everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is white noise. And if you do those 3 things, if you know what you want, you create a plan to get there, and you execute it every single day, then on a long enough time frame, you will get what you want out of this life. I promise you. That is the secret to success. It is that simple, and it is that difficult, and that is why most people won't do it. But that is why you have an opportunity to be extraordinary. And I know that you have greatness inside of you. So what are you waiting for? Go make your plan. Get to work.